here today with Mr. Hollister, who is an English educator here at Northern Cass. And not only is he an English educator, but he is also a self-proclaimed expert on snakes. So I asked him to come here today to talk to me about this fascinating interest of his. My first question for you, Mr. Hollister, is what is your history and relationship with snakes?
Well, it started probably primary school with my first reader. And it was about snakes. It was an alphabet book about snakes. It was C is for, and it was the name of a snake. And when I started reading that book, I got really interested in snakes. And then I would catch these green snakes, garter snakes, in the yard. And that brings us right up to date today.
As an English educator, I'm sure that language fascinates you. So what is the history of the word snake?
Etymologically speaking, snake is from the Old English, snook, to slither. And then, of course, when the Vikings took over the language, they butchered that word and turned it into snake, as we know it today. So snake is actually Old English, slither.
And before this word snook for slither, did people refer to snakes at all, or did they just ignore them?
No, because remember when the Irish drove the snakes out of St. Petersburg? No, St. Petersburg drove the snakes out of, St. Patrick drove the snakes out of Ireland. And he said something about snooker. No, he was at a pub, and they had a snooker table when the snakes attacked Ireland, and St. Patrick drove them out of there. That's the beginning of snook for slither.
You're kind of making me worried that you're not actually an expert on snakes right now, Mr. Hollister.
You're not asking me about
backtracking.
snakes. You asked me about a word about snakes, not about snakes. Ask me about garter snakes, or the snake that starts with a C.
Do you not know any snakes that start with C?
There's a snake that starts with C, but it was in primary school. I can't remember that book. I just know that there was a snake on the cover. C is for...
We'll move on.
Snake. C. No. It was I can't remember. But it was a snake.
As you are probably aware, many people have a fear of snakes for various reasons. One of them being that they lack limbs. So
it's true.
It can be off-putting.
I knew that.
Yes, but how did snakes evolve to be this way?
Because this is the dumbest question. Remember when the snakes crawled out of the alluvium? They first came out of the oceans to get onto land, and they had to crawl out of the ocean. Well, once they crawled, they don't need the limbs anymore, so they naturally fell off. And then they found out that their name meant to slither. And if you're going to slither, you can't slither with a pen.
Okay, so
can I answer the question? Or?
Did the snakes come up with the name?
No, St. Patrick was there. So they came out of the ocean. They crawled up with their limbs.
Okay.
Snook! And so that kind of got deeply embedded in their brains. Snook. Can't snook with limbs. And so over time, like Darwin said, over time, the limbs would fall off because they don't need them. Slither. Cucamonga. No, that's not a snake. Starts with a C, though.
How many species of snakes are there?
A lot. The garter.
The one that starts with C?
No, it's not cucamonga, but it starts with a C. There's the doomsday snake. That big Viking snake that's like at the bottom of the tree.
Which one is your favorite?
The one at the bottom of the tree, I think now. The big snake in Viking folklore at the bottom of the tree.
So where is that snake found?
At the bottom of the Viking tree.
Well, where's the Viking?
It's mythic. So I guess that doesn't count then. So it's not a real snake. So there's only 2 or 3 snakes.
So you're lying to me
I'm not lying. The tree, and there's a snake at the bottom, and then a couple squirrels that run up that tree. And then at the end, Ragnarok, like that movie, Ragnarok, then Thor fights the giant snake.
Okay.
Did I count the sea snake? I did. So there's 2 snakes.
2 snakes.
Garter?
2 snakes plus the mythological snake.
Yeah, but that doesn't count because it's mythical. It's mythical, and it's dead. Thor killed it.
Right.
The Ragnarok.
Do you think that that's your favorite snake?
No, it was a wolf. The wolf ate the snake, and then Thor fought that giant wolf.
How are some species of snakes able to see infrared light?
They have eyes, right? Yeah, the snake. Yeah, they have eyes, so they can see it. They see.
Are you asking me the questions? I'm the one who's trying to learn more about snakes.
Infrared, with their eyes. Can't you see infrared?
Can you?
Yeah,
I
we
don't
can see.
think we can.
That's red. That sweatshirt is red. You can't see that?
Do you not know what infrared light is?
Red.
How can you be an expert on snakes and not know what infrared light is?
I'm not an art expert, but I know when I see red. Metaphorically, I'm starting to see red too.
I'm so sorry. What type of information is a snake gathering when it sticks out its tongue? Why does it do that?
Taste. It's licking. It's right. It's right before it eats. It's just getting a taste. Because they can see red, but they can't see anything else. So if something's not red, they can't see it, and so they bump into it and they want to taste it first before they eat it, in case it's a rock or something.
Do you do this? Do you mimic the snakes because you love them so much?
Do I mimic snakes?
Yeah, do you mimic them?
I don't know. That's ridiculous. I don't slither. I guess I taste things. So yeah, and I can see red. I am a lot like a snake. I can see red, and I taste things with my tongue, like a snake.
What does the process of a snake shedding its skin
Oh my gosh.
entail?
What?
This is the most basic. This is the most basic snake question.
Did you say snakes have tails?
They do. They're like basically 90% tails.
That's not that's their body. That's
Do
the
they
body of the snake.
Do snakes not have tails?
Well, no, it's a body. So you said, well, I knew, that they had arms and legs. And with your arms and legs attached to the body.
Okay.
Do you have a tail?
No.
Do you have arms and legs?
Yeah.
Maybe you should have done your research before you started asking me these questions.
Well, you were the one who was supposed to be answering my
I am
questions.
answering them. There's a lot of fallacies out there about snakes.
Okay,
and I'm
so-
dispelling them, I guess, is what I'm doing right now. Rather than talking about the garter snake and that other snake, the sea snake.
But snakes do shed their skin, right? That's correct?
Yes?
Okay. I have one more question for you.
Why would they? Okay.
Yes?
Don't they need their? I don't want to ask those questions. But don't they need their skin to survive?
Well, I mean, yeah.
So what happens when they shed their skin? There'd just be bones
Why would
crawling
I
around.
know
Just
that?
like
I'm
some
not
bones.
the snake expert.
Slithering bones.
I have one more question for you, and hopefully we'll be able to make it through this interview.
It's not my fault.
Snake venom is made up of complex mixtures of proteins. How do different types of venomous snakes disperse venom to their victims?
Yeah, I've heard this before too. And I remember I got bit by a garter snake when I was a kid, and I went running. I thought I was going to die. And my mom said there's no venom in that snake.
But other snakes do have venom, right?
Well,
there's 2 snakes.
the sea snake might. But that was a long time ago when I read that book.
Is there anything about snakes that you think...
Is it hot in here? What?
Is there anything about snakes that you think the viewers should know?
Okay, don't fear snakes.
Right.
They're not venomous.
Well, one of them might be.
Well, except for the sea snake.
Yeah.
So if you see a snake that starts with a C, I would run away maybe, but not the other snake variety, garter snake. Because they bite you, it hurts. It hurt a little bit. I cried because it hurt. But Mom said it was okay. There's no venom. Because if St. Patrick hadn't driven all those snakes into the sea, there'd be a lot of snakes on this planet.
Too many snakes, maybe?
Probably.
Do you think that they would be the, most intelligent species if they were still...
Well, they would have taken over the world.
Yeah?
Yeah, especially the doomsday snake.
This has been a very informative interview, I guess. Possibly one of the most informative
Really?
interviews I've done so far.
Really?
I haven't really had a debate with any of my other interviewees, so I guess I learned the most here today than I have any other day. But thank you, Mr. Hollister, for coming in and talking to me about snakes.
You're welcome. Anytime. Anytime you want to talk snakes, give me a call.